ones obviously that you're very much aware of. I'm just going to hold up a couple of examples as well of the other magazines we do. Some people might know this magazine, the Grapevine magazine, celebrating its 30th birthday this year. So that's been going a long time. Vanilla magazine, also one of our regional magazines, which covers Norfolk and Suffolk. That's kind of like a lifestyle, healthy, aimed at women and men, because we've got a Manila section as well now. So that serves the community on a regional basis. And then, quite rightly so, you've mentioned the In Touch magazine and our Spotlight magazine. Is it okay to share a slide? Would that be all right?
Yeah, it should be. I've allowed the function, so hopefully.
Great stuff. Okay. Well, let me just share this one. Can you see that clearly?
Yeah.
Come up okay. So as you'll see, we've split the In Touch magazines, which obviously you can find online and also in print. 80,000 get distributed through the doors of our local communities. But what makes us quite unique is that we drill down that unique news specifically for those areas. So more importantly for you guys, the Stowe Market edition has 11,000 copies going out. And also we have quite a lot of visitors going to the website. But as you can see, it's done like that because 75% of our news is from our community. So before Google and all these other people made it fashionable to support local, we've been supporting it for over 26 years. So it's one of those things which we pride ourselves on. But it also, what it allows you to do, it allows you to communicate your story, not just in Stowe Market, but just maybe some of the audience just outside Stowe Market that you'd like to get to, like Needham Market, for instance, and some of the other areas. So, I mean, I'll come on to later on talking about how we can possibly do that for you. But in a nutshell, that's what we are. We're a team of sort of 25 throughout the group. So we're quite a large organisation, but family run. So it's run by Sue and Steve Stone, the family members. I've got my editor, who's obviously on the call as well, Sharon, who you all know. And you might have picked up on the accents. I'm actually from Bristol and Sharon's obviously from Ireland, but still we're really embraced in the community of Ipswich. So we're a bit of an imposter, but we're certainly behind our local area and where we live now.
Good. Well, as a fellow imposter as well, it's good, isn't it? That's the lovely thing about Suffolk, is very welcoming, and you've just explained again the kind of range of communities that you serve with your batch of magazines. So that's fantastic. I mean, one of the things that, you know, at the root of what you do is helping business to market themselves, and marketing is about knowing who you are and what story you want to tell people. So what's In Touch's story? What's your story?
So our story is that we're obviously a group of magazines. We support the local communities. And as I said before, we've helped lots of businesses communicate their stories through advertising and editorial. And I think where we've helped clients in the past is literally having that time to find out about their business. So this last year, during the pandemic, we've kind of been more able to consult with people because they've had a bit more time to understand working on the business as opposed to working in the business. So we've done a lot of stuff like that, and our kind of history is that we want to support local business. But in terms of In Touch magazine, it's well known. People know it goes through the door, and obviously people are using us a lot more online now. I think you'll find that again during the pandemic, people get to know that they want their information on a daily basis, and local news is ever more important. So we've increased everything to do with that, to make sure things are hyper local for people to want to find things that are happening on their doorstep. And I do think during the lockdown we literally offered a great service of still providing that news. Obviously we had difficulties ourselves, but we still maintained those magazines going out and the news that it contains. So yeah, that's pretty much what we're about.
Fantastic. So effectively what you are, it's a local publishing business to help local businesses connect with local people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, fantastic. So that's your story. But for a business, you know, the whole point of this, event of ours is to help businesses bounce back. We know tough times over the last 12 months. There are a few businesses that, found opportunities that have allowed them to excel. But for many of us, it's been a challenge. And this sense of, we called it bounce back, but we know it's about moving forward in a new way. And therefore, it's important for local businesses to know their story too. So what advice do you have for businesses to help them get that really clear?
I think it's really good what you guys are doing, and these names get bounced back, the bounce back and recovery and all this sort of thing. And I think that we've been quite impressed on how much we've grown and diversed ourselves. So what we're interested in doing is finding out how businesses have done that and how they can communicate. So it's ultimately what my team of consultants want to do. They want to talk to businesses, find out what audience they would like to attract and whether their services have diversed from what they need to do, whether there's a new way of communicating, whether there's a new way of getting people from print to online. And we've certainly got some ways we could do that. But I think more importantly, we just want our clients to really understand or try and get to find out what customers look like for them. What's a typical customer for them? What is, is it Doris down the road that's, in need of a plumber, or is it, someone's been choosing to go to a brand new school? So some of our customers are the likes of Ipswich School. And like I said, we've got landscape gardeners, but identifying who your customer is, who you're trying to attract and what the reason of that is. There's many questions we want to ask you. And if anyone wants to talk with me after this, the genuine thing from Mansion House Publishing is we do want to help you bounce back. So we've come up with some offers, which I believe have been emailed out. But I'm also happy to spend 30, 40 minutes with you free of charge, just identifying who your customer is, how you're trying to attract it, and how we can communicate that with the likes of our great design team that we've got in-house here, and our consultants that will literally drill down what communications you need to get out there. And then the great thing is we've got the audience. We've got 80,000 magazines. We've got 48,000 people a month going to the website. So we know the audience is there. We just want to make sure that you give yourself the best opportunity communicating that with visuals and ease of use to get that customer journey from the advertisement over to you for you then to take through that customer journey.
Yeah, brilliant. So that's a fantastic offer. Thank you for making that out to anyone listening today. Just to, at the root of it sits, be really clear on who your audience is, who is it you're there to serve, and the need you want to meet. And you've given us an offer there that you'll help people, if they're not sure, to really drill down on that.
It looks like that if you haven't been emailed it, but I'm pretty sure everyone's got an email. So it's got a couple of different ways. And what you'll notice from that offer is based on a 3 to 6 month period. And that's so we can really track and test how it's working, because you need to set yourself a minimum of 3 months to make sure that's right, and then a minimum of another 3 months just to check all the advertising, the visuals are right and everything's working, because our job is to get you a return on investment. I'm not happy until that happens, and I want to just utilize all the tools, all the skills we've got in-house. And you'll notice on there as well editorial support, sometimes telling your story with a news article. Sharon and her team will help out with that. But we need a call to action. So those advertisements are good to say, call here, call now. And I'll talk a little bit about how we do that in a second, if that's okay.
Yeah, great. So if people are in any doubt, were you clear on what your story is? This about helping local businesses. You've explained clearly you're there and you're passionate about trying to help people to do that.
Yeah.
So you explained a little, but businesses need this help to move forward, to bounce back. So how practically do you do that? What sorts of things do you do?
So in terms of art, we've got a brilliant artwork team here. So we've got a really talented design team. Do you mind if I share a screen again?
Yeah, please do.
Great stuff. So if I can just share this one with you. Does that come up okay?
Yep.
Great stuff. So literally what we try and do is we try and communicate your story. Now, sometimes we will go to the likes of a business and they'll say, right, I want all of this information into an advert, and what they try and do is put all their website into a full page, and they give us all this information and they say, right, can you put all that in there? And we have to push back. We have to say, I've got over 25 years experience myself, that won't work, that won't get you the return on investment. So what you'll see is an example on the left, which is quite wordy, and you'd be excused not to know what it actually is, unless you were in the position of reading it. Now, we use computers, we use things. If it doesn't catch people's attention within a couple of seconds, I think you've lost the opportunity. And I think we need to know that people, when they're oversensitized to something. So my personal thing at the moment is my auntie's going through dementia, and this was quite a passionate thing for me to get involved in this advert because I wanted it to communicate to me. So I've been supporting my auntie. It's been a really, quite a difficult time over the period of a year, shielding her. And I just felt that the kind of respite, if I was going to say, I want to know who's going to take care of me now, so I need some help, where do I get the help from? And I'm pretty sure if you looked at the left and you said, right, if I was looking through a magazine and I was oversensitized, I might miss that. Now, what I've had the opportunity to do is spend a bit more time with my design team, a bit more time with the customer to say, I need to put this forward in a different way. I need to communicate within seconds that I know what that is. And as you'll see from that advert, you've got the hands there putting on top of a caring hand. So it's the attention you're getting. It's the interest. You've got the desire from the pictures of the home there and what a nice, safe environment is. And then it's the action, the call to action. People read advertising this way. So attention, interest, desire, action. And what you'll also notice there is we've added a QR code in the right-hand corner there. Now, QR codes have been around for ages, but I'll tell you now, everybody now knows how to use them because of track and trace, because of the NHS. These are becoming very familiar. And what's brilliant about these things is that is a unique trackable code. So when someone scans that code to get more information or to take them from a print advert to a Facebook page or the website or a sign-up form online, that immediately does it, and it also lets me track it. So I can report back to you, for instance, that advert's just gone out. Let's just say 46 people out of our 80,000 readers have scanned that code. Now you might say that's not a lot, but I want you to visualize what 46 people look like in your office right now. That's a lot of people that have gone from that advert to get some more advice. So I just wanted to obviously show you that just to make sure you understood sort of the new ways that we're trying to get print proven, which is something in my past when I started 25 years ago, we didn't have the opportunity. We could tell how many were out there, but we couldn't give you results. But with these new ways of using trackable QR codes, new ways of driving people from print, that's a great idea. Now I've got to do something about it, driving the action. And I can see people with the storytelling hats on, they're nodding their heads, which is exactly, I know I'm talking the right thing about what they do as well.
Good. So, I mean, what you're saying here is it's really important to get your message clear, to keep it simple,
Absolutely.
So whether a business uses you or not, it's about getting clear. What's your message? Keep it simple. And have some way that they can then find out more information. But obviously what you're saying, actually, come to us, we can help you with that. You've got things like the QR codes, means you don't have to go and create these. Actually, we can do that for you as part of that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about these kind of QR codes then. How does that actually help businesses?
So I think QR codes help people just get, like I said, from the platform of print onto the digital area. So for instance, let's just say you were running a competition and you were running it on your Facebook page, or there was a page of your website that you were only running that competition on, or it was a sign-up form. I think the thing we got to remember is the customer journey. You're only going to respond to these when you're oversensitized to things. If I'm in the market for a car, I'm either in the market for a car because I've crashed mine or it's broken down. So any car advert then becomes really, really important to me. So to take the next journey from, oh, that's a nice car, I will click that and I will go to maybe the details and description or how I can book a test drive. It's trying to cut down the journey to go in. If I was just to go to your homepage, now it's up to me to reply or me to find out where that competition is on. So it's just a quick way to get people to exactly what you want them to get and what's quickest for the end user, which is the customer on their journey.
Yeah. So it's about, again, if you're thinking outside of this, it's about making sure the step is easy and simple for them to make. But obviously the QR codes help you do that, help you to monitor that as well.
Yeah.
So we've obviously been through a challenge as businesses over the last year. So for you, how have you responded as a company yourself to the challenges, and kind of what have you learned from that?
Well, when lockdown 1.0 happened, we were already in the process of looking at our digital elements of the business. So the website, we now have a website that has got daily news on there. So you may know us as a monthly magazine, but every day there's a new article going up on the online story. So we've diversed the way we were doing things, but that ramped up a hell of a lot during lockdown. There was only 1 month we were unable to distribute our magazines because we were covered under the press and media, and because we offered that lifeline to people wanting to know what's going on in their community. And obviously, businesses now and also our readers want to support local. So that was great as well. So it's just all ramped up. But I think we had to diverse with working from home. We had to have people working remotely. So our IT had to we were lucky with the IT being there, but we just had to get used to using Zoom calls. And I think one of the things we learned was that we could still produce good quality magazines and news working from home. We didn't all have to be in the same office, and I think that was a steep learning curve for us. But we were worried, and then no, we've put things in place, and we were okay. And in fact, the pandemic has done so much for what we had put in place. So we were managing to talk to people about how more readers wanted more information. So that goes up. So if you see, we look after our readers, but we also look after our businesses. And what we do is marry them up with our vehicles, which are our magazines and websites. So again, the audience has gone up, the importance has gone up. So it's been challenging, but really welcoming as well, because of the diversity we were already setting in place, just ramped up overnight.
Yeah. Great. So, I mean, you've experienced the challenge, you've met the challenge, you've had that adaptability. So again, things for us to learn from that as separate businesses, but also know that you're a business too that understands the experiences that we've been through. So one last question for me before we hand it over to see the questions in the chat room. Just the advice for businesses, is there anything that businesses really need to know about tapping into the local market?
I think, again, I'm just going to recap what I've already said. It's knowing who your customer is, or let's have a chat where we find out who that is. That's the first step. Really set some time, although we're going back to opening up, and what we did a lot of was work on the business as opposed to in the business. So if you are owners of your own business, set some time aside to work on your business, on your marketing. Give that hour a week to just say, I'm going to work on who I'm going to target. So I'd really, and even we do it, we do it ourselves. We work on the business and we work in the business, but we make sure we balance that up. And one thing I would say is then find out who your customer is, talk to someone like myself or some of the other media people about what your story is, and really take time to set aside to engage as much information as you can get across, because we're only as good as telling the story is when we get the information out, and that's sometimes the most challenging part. So plan some time ahead. I will give my time. I've got the lovely Anna, who also works on Stowmarket magazine. She's offered her time as well, just to talk through that process. And I think then test and measure. I think you really need to sort of test and measure what response you're getting. Gone are the days where you pick up the phone and say, I want some space. We don't sell space. We sell audience. We sell response. We sell return on investment. So I think what's really important is just to test and measure and change and adapt. But I would really push strongly on you guys really working on your business and really working out what's changed. Have you diverse enough? What your competition's doing as well. So there's lots to think about, but I think if you just try and do those things, you'll be successful, and you will bounce back. But this is probably a perfect time for you to look at your business. This is. I think this has been a great way. You even look on national TV adverts. I love them. Can't get enough of them. I'm quite sad with that. But they're talking about stories. They're talking about people. They're not talking about product anymore. You're not talking about. Sometimes they'll be saying like, but they're talking about the stories, and they're latching on to certain things that have happened in the media. We're all coming back now. Let's be supportive. So again, maybe that's some messages you need to put in your advertising. How have you supported? Give me a testimonial. Give me someone that you've helped through the pandemic, or give me a really good story or story angle we can give to Sharon and make a beautiful bit of news along with your advertising campaign. That's the main advice without waffling on for another 3 hours.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Darren. Some really helpful tips there, whether, as you say, whether they come to you, whether they go to other marketing people that we've got here. Just some real sound advice about really investing time to think about your story and what story you want to tell.
Absolutely.
So, well, let's see what questions, thank you for those. Let's see what questions we've got here. Shelley, I think we've got a couple of questions that you've given me. Are these all from you, or have we got some from specific people?
Yeah, no, I was just thinking of these. I've got a couple of others coming in now, but I was just thinking while we were talking, because I'm already an advertiser with the InTouch. They've treated me very well, so I just thought I'd just put a couple of little things in there so that if people who are not advertising with InTouch at the moment, they'll answer the questions that I had when I first went with them. So
do you want to ask those questions, Shelley, so that everyone can hear those as well?
Yeah, so basically, if a company wanted to start to advertise with the InTouch, can they do an editorial in the same edition to introduce themselves, and how much would that cost?
They can. So what we've done is if you have a look on our bounce back offers, some of those will include a news story. Now, We can't always guarantee that we've got the space, because if you imagine, the community news comes from the community. So we can't always say, start advertising with us and we'll introduce you. But part of that plan and part of the things that I say to my consultants is, if anyone books up a 3 to 6 month campaign with us, we will guarantee that we will do a story on you, and we've got to get a story angle. And that won't cost you anything extra. That's all included on us supporting you bounce back. But we are limited, and we're only as good as your support, because you use us or you lose us. But we're lucky with Stowmarket, it's quite a popular magazine. But what I would say is there is a cost to advertising, but there's a return on investment. And that's what we're trying to do, is make sure your communications with us get the best return on investment. And absolutely, Sharon is with me and behind me on commercial support. And and the great thing about that now is we can do that online instantly. So we have online instant news. So if you don't do anything today, but just go and check out our website at InTouch, keepingintouchwith.co.uk. Have a look at the news, have a look how it's changed, have a look that instantly we then share that digital news socially. So again, we're a different beast to just being in the magazine. We can share that on our social media. So absolutely, we will be doing something on you. And if you haven't been contacted about it yet, you will be over the next few days by Anna, who is sat here socially distanced. I am going to move so she can show her face. So Anna's looking after so much. So if you've got anything or you want to email Anna, I'll make sure we get you her details as well. So, and you've got my full support on that, and Sharon also. So yes, we do welcome.
Can I just add? It feels to me at the moment that there's less of a division between what was once regarded as commercial content and what was regarded as editorial content, because there's a greater acceptance now of the interconnection between the two, because we've been so reliant on local businesses in the last year. And I think there is more interest now in knowing the people behind the brands and the logos, because we care about them surviving. So there are stories behind every business, and we will work with you to find that angle and to bring personality to the product or the service that you're trying to sell.
Great, thanks for adding that, Sharon. That's super.
Yeah, lovely.
Absolutely.
So Shelley, have we got any other questions from?
Yeah, I've got a few more now. They're sort of starting to stream in. Another one is, if there was a current advertiser wanted to advertise in more than one regional magazine, is this discounted?
Yep, so those discounts are on there, absolutely. So again,
I haven't looked at your thing yet.
Oh,
yeah. So that's
no worries. So those are there. I'll make sure that if you leave me your details, Anna would send them out directly to you guys. But I believe they came through the chamber.
Yeah.
So you might have those. But absolutely. So there's discounts for you to go into other. And yeah, we do want you to advertise within Stowmarket, but we do want you to look at where your customers are. And I'll be challenging you, saying, where else do you think your customers are? And a lot of our clients literally do advertise in every single one, or then they start to cherry pick and they start going, well, we have great response there, let's keep doing it with that. So absolutely, we encourage you to take more than one. Yes, you want business from Stowmarket, but you want business from Ipswich, you want business from Felixstowe, and that's kind of like what we're here for. But yeah, your discounts do count for the bounce back.
Yeah.
So anybody else got a question for us?
There is another one in here, which is from Sarah. Are in touch on social channels as well?
Yes. So you'll catch us on Facebook, In Touch. If you're not our friends already, again, another job I want you to do is go on the website and like us, because then we're coming up in your news feed. So have a look at Keeping in Touch With, and then literally follow the social links. Like us on that, because we're always pushing that social channel. Likewise, we'll follow you back, and we'll put as much and we'll share as much as we can. It's not new to me, but it's very new to people that we're a whole audience giver. So on multiple channels, we like you to get the best out of it. So the magazines are just a start. It's the whole following now. The whole following supports. We retweet stuff, we share stuff, and we've put a lot of effort into being that unique and possibly leading the way in that. When we look at our competitors, we do lead the way, and we feel we're quite passionate in that, and that's why we put so much effort into our social selling and social awareness, which has been great. So yeah, everybody like us, please. That'd be great.
All right. So just a couple of comments then, really. Firstly, just to clarify that the bounce back offer is for featured businesses only and not the visitors. So if any visitors here would like to talk to Daren, then obviously his details will be in the chat, and obviously it's on the website as well, on the bounce back website.
Yeah.
So get in touch with him and he can obviously sort out any deals that he may wish to let you have. And another one here from Alan, just to say that obviously it was a very generous offer from Daren, the bounce back offer, to help clients find their customer audience, often very challenging, especially with the business in changing direction.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's a big thanks actually from all of the featured business, Daren. It was a really nice offer that you sent through.
Thank you.
Great. So have we got any more questions? Either put them in the chat, or I'm just going to go to gallery view now and you can give us a wave if you have a particular question for Daren.
Yeah, there's no more in the chat at the moment.
So Kim, you've got a question for us?
It wasn't a question. I just had, because the chat's not going to everybody, I had a message from Julie Kett to say hello to Anna from Julie Kett. Thank you for your work last week with my advert. Can highly recommend In Touch. Very helpful.
Oh, thank you.
There's your testimonial.
So,
we were both lucky enough to chat to, and think if I'm right in saying Stowmarket and Needham Market was the one. Yeah. So again, trying to get business from Needham Market as well as Stowmarket, which has been great, and we'll support you all the way.
Great. So one of the things about our kind of featured businesses here, with our sponsors is to help people understand how a sponsor could, in this case, particularly help you, but it's also the top tips that you can learn from them as well in kind of what they're sharing are some of the ideas that you can use yourself as well. So last chance, just before we finish off, any other questions or anybody else that wants to say, we've loved what Daren and the team have done. Any other questions? Do give me a wave. I'm just going to, everyone's hands go down now. And
long as Sharon's hand doesn't go up, that's what I'm worried about.
Great. Okay. Well, just want to say a huge thank you to you, Daren, both for your offers that have gone obviously to those that have booked on as featured businesses, but also the wider offers. And what we'll try and do, if you just pop in the chat to me or to one of the team here, the contact details that you want to put out, and then we'll put that out to everybody. So if straight after this interview do that, we can make sure that everybody sees that. That would be great.
Great stuff.
So Daren, thank you for your time. Thank you for
having me.
Your answers, and thank you for being one of our sponsors of this event. So everyone, should we just give him a little either one like this or a kind of cyber one? Thank you for your help, and I'll hand back now to Kim.